I met him
At
in
the
this.
party.
No, I met you in the first time I saw you. I met you in Annie's, in the sister-in-law's. She was a friend of mine. And he was sitting there on his little moustache, you know, old handsome Jack. He was very kind, good father, always looking for work, because he was a building worker. And he used to walk for miles if we had no money. But his train fare, he used to walk for miles. And he's always provided for me, my kids.
I loved her and I still love her. She's lovely. And been a very good mother to the children. They all love her. Couldn't say any more than that. Been a very good wife to me.
Thank you.
When we first moved to Mile End was 1951, because I'll tell you where I lived. I lived in 17C, Windsor Gardens.
Was that with me in?
Yeah. 10 Lewis Street. And our Teddy lived in Globe Street.
So that was with Nellie and Tommy.
Yeah. And
then
Where
so
was
my
Globe
gran, you
Street?
live with my gran as well?
me gran, Uncle Tommy, and me nin. When you walked in, Jerry and Jimmy's room was on the left as you went in. There was a parlour on the right. Then Josie Ann and Francis had that room there. Oh no, and me nin's was on the other side, yeah. So it was 3-bedroom. It had a living room, which was the warmest and nicest room you could ever be in. It had what they call a workwell fireplace, you know, with the oven and all the rest of it on it. And there was always a good fire going in me nins.
Were they the ones that had the oven at the side where they used to put the jacket spuds in when the fire was?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I have a vague recollection of that in Mile End as well.
Me mum only ever kept things warm in there.
Yeah.
Like when we were cold in the winter, she used to put bricks. She used to put bricks in there, warm them up off the fire, and wrap them in a
I remember her putting bricks
pillowcase
on the actual fire as well, didn't she? At Seymour Street.
and she used to put them in front of the fire. I don't think she put them on the fire, because you wouldn't get them out, would you? Unless there was holes in them.
And they didn't have holes in them, did they?
No, very seldom. They were all solid.
To heat the bed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a cheaper way of doing it, wasn't it?
Yeah, because
Like a water bottle, you would have to boil a kettle of water.
When you think back, the fireplace was the central point of the house, wasn't it? Yeah. That was like a communal place.
When you think about it, when we were in Mile End, there was 10 kids in a 2-bedroom flat. No hot water, an outside toilet, and I don't know how my mum survived.
How did she get all the kids up the stairs with the pram? Because we were on the top landing where there was only the top, the middle and bottom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you on the top floor?
Yeah.
That everyone would be behind the pram in case it fell, so you could catch it.
All right.
So my mum would pull the pram up. Just getting the kids clean. I remember going to school. How old would I be at the time? I'd be about 9 or 10, something like that. Just gone to Our Lady's school from St. Bridget's, and the knit nurse.
Yeah.
She came into class, inspecting everyone and everything, and afterwards she came in, And she said, that boy there, and pointed, I thought, oh, freaking hell. Oh.
I've got nits.
My mum will kill me. She dragged me out to the front and said, see this boy? She said, he hasn't got a bathroom. All you people have. He hasn't got a bathroom and he's the cleanest person in the class.
If anybody was hard up, we all helped each other. Now, before we moved to Seymour Street, when we lived in the tenements, each time I had a baby, the old lady next door would come in with a big bowl of chicken soup and lovely dumplings. They'd be light as a feather. But she used to make sure that I had my food, you know, my nourishment. And all the neighbours there were all brilliant, really lovely people. Good old days.
This is my mother. She's a wonderful mother. Best in the world for me.
We try to bring them up right and, you know, give them their morals and ethics and whatever. And they all, as children, they all cared for each other. Because I had so many children. You know, it's a lot to look after, 11 children. So the older ones helped with the younger ones. And they helped each other, and they had homework to do and they were stuck. The bigger ones would help the younger ones, you know. And we tried to make them see that family, you've got to love each other. You must love each other and help each other.
As I walked the cobbled streets, some had no shoes upon their feet, or they had no arse in their pants, and some had lice as big as ants. But people seemed so happy then, they were not worried when the news had said. It was really stories that were newsworthy, instead of trying to frighten me. They took our communities away from us. Back then people never made a fuss. They seemed carefree and helped each other. If you had a problem, you went to father or mother. You didn't need counselling or doctor's pills. You went to grandma with your ills. If you were naughty, you got a crack. You never wanted to hear that whack. They tore down all our city streets, things with character that did look chic, and put up these shit shopping malls. No personal service, where's the dance halls? They have gone and in their place, of water and holes, they are a disgrace. Where the young act like cattle, and then outside they always battle. I may be older, but I'm not dead. I still have thoughts run through my head. The young people who look after me, I only wish that they could see. I had a family and a wife. I had a very normal life. They talk about me like I'm not there. I'm used to it, but I don't care. Inside my head we're on Picton Road, going to cinema, the great and the old. It seems to have brainwashed the parents today that buying kids stuff is the only way. Nurture your children to have a well mind, and as they grow into adults, I think you will find. So pass on the message of love. It comes from the heart like a gift from above.
No, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. I have played our over. No, never, no more. I pulled down me pockets and sovereign sprite, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have a whiskey, the young ones of the best, and the worst was only in jestfulness. No, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. But I play till I over. No, never, no more.
Do you remember the day we moved to Seymour
Yeah,
Street?
I was pushing
You were-
the ank out with me dad.
Well, you and Bobby
You
had to
could have
take
had
me and Timmy along first. Sure it was you and Bobby?
No.
And, well, whoever it was, they took us...
me and Teddy pushed the
Well, it must
pushed
have
the
been
ank
Bobby
out with
and
me
someone
dad.
else. They took me and Timmy, because there was no one there when we got to the house, they took us down to St John's Gardens and it was freezing because it was that winter, wasn't it? 62, 63.
Yeah.
We were saying, we're freezing, we want to go home. And he walked us up to Seymour Street and we were on the step and I went,
But you
"I'm
couldn't
gonna go
even
home,
light
it's
a
too
fire
cold."
in Seymour Street then.
And they were going, you're home, this is home. And I was going, no, I want to go home to my house.
Yeah.
When we got inside, it was like a castle, wasn't it? It was like a mansion compared
amazing, wasn't
yeah,
it?
from 2 bedrooms
Yeah.
to 5 bedrooms, a parlour, a living
Very
room,
fine,
kitchen,
big.
2 cellars.
When you think about the cramped spaces and there was before Josie came along, we used to now and again we used to have Jimmy Walker and Danny Walker and sometimes Davy Walker staying with us. So to be all them kids plus them 3 or 2 or 3.
Who slept in the room? It was always the youngest slept in the room with my mum and dad, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah.
the youngest 2? Or was
It
just
would
one in
either
a cot?
be you or
I can
or
remember
Timmy.
the cot in the bedroom because I remember the pillow fight and Francis hit me and knocked me out of it. What about the time you set fire to the teddy bear? Was that on the landing?
Oh,
Was that the landing where they done
no,
the
that was
post?
in the actually in the
living room?
house. But what happened was we had the great big teddy bear. It was all stuffed with straw. We had it tied up around a brush pole and all newspapers around, and we lit a fire. We're all doing the Indian thing and dancing around and all. The house was ablaze. It's a good job it was a concrete floor.
That must have been our Mary being the eldest girl. She had a lot like responsibility, didn't she?
She used to work in Everleans. She was about, what was she then, about 13, 14?
About 12 or 13, yeah.
So she was working in Everleans and she used to get sweets and she'd hide them in the wardrobe.
Yeah, I
And
remember
me and
that.
our Timmy found a space at the back of the wardrobe and we climbed,
Yeah,
used to
remember
climb
that.
in and put our hands up and get a
I remember
handful
that, yeah.
of sweets out and the wardrobe fell over this day. And it
Trapped
had
you.
it had a mirror on the front. Jimmy jumped out quick. We run upstairs and into your room. And my dad come running up. Are you all right? Yeah. What happened? The wardrobe just fell. And he said he was just worried that we hadn't hurt ourselves. And our Mary come over, she said, I knew them sweets would disappear and I didn't know how.
And I used to say to her, hey sis, what are you eating? She, I'm eating cornflakes. And she took them for years and years. And I say to my daughter now sometimes, oh Annie, you poor mother with the cornflakes. She said, you smell that. They kept my mum alive, them cornflakes. They must have been good. Well, you think Annie would give that to the kids, wouldn't you? I think she does now.
When we were kids, we used to all get back together in the big bath. There'd be me, Teddy, Bobby, and Mary
The tin bat.
in the tin bath. And there's a photograph. I don't know who's got it.
I can remember seeing that photograph.
Where we're all sitting in the bath. Mary's in the front. I don't know. I can't remember where
You
I
had the
am.
cameras, didn't you? People had cameras, didn't you? The amount of pictures that they used back then.
Yeah.
They always seem to
We
have
had
a
always
camera.
had the brownie.
I've still
No,
got a
the
brownie.
box brownie.
I've still got one
Where
of them in there.
you look through the top. See, you look
Because
through
there's
the
loads
top.
I
of
of
still
it.
pictures,
can't
isn't
see
there?
how they worked. Kevin still
I think
that's
it's
all
light,
that's in
isn't
there.
it?
I know we've got photographs there now where me dad, Bobby, Teddy and Mary were all in Stanley Park with me Auntie Anne and me mum.
I've got that photograph.
Have you?
There's one with my mother and one with my dad. And Mary got a copy of somebody that looked brand new and it's got no marks on it. And I found it the other day. I should have brought it with me. Should have brought it to show.
That's got to be Auntie Josie's.
It was, no, it wasn't Josie. I think it might have been Aunt Kelly.
Auntie Josie was like an angel. I loved Auntie Josie.
When I was about 7 or 8, they took me to, because I never went to their wedding, they sort of like took me on a day out to New Brighton.
Who went to the wedding? It was only Mary, wasn't it?
Mary and Teddy. Oh, I'm not sure whether Bobby did that as well. I'm not sure, because he was like the blue-eyed boy, Bobby.
Yeah, blonde hair and blue eyes.
Everyone loved Bobby. Auntie Rosie even named the dog after.
Oh, he was off it. Them, the dog, Bobby.
That's how we come to get Bobby the dog.
Bobby the dog, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because she used to think Bobby
was that Auntie Rosie's dog, was it?
She used to think Bobby was taking her for a walk, and he used to just take her to Mile End and tie her up,
Yeah.
Back home again.
And
Auntie Rosie used to think he was
he was getting $2 a week off her.
for walking the dog.
Which was a few bob then, know what I mean? $2. 10p.
But Josie was, she was like, yeah, when you have a special auntie, Josie was our special auntie.
But do you remember what she used to,
Josie,
her and Frank, every Saturday they used to bring us a big bag
Sweets
of no cakes,
cakes, yeah.
fairy cakes.
Famous cake.
Cherry on top of that was my first words, that bastard.
And I'll be honest with you, I used to look forward to it.
But when there was more of us, it must have been when you were younger, but when there was more of us, she used to just bring the cakes for her and my mother, didn't she? Yeah. And one cake went missing. And he went, so who's took? And he sat there with all cream around his mouth.
that was shades of John.
And he went, well, what was it
that
he
bastard.
said? He blamed Frankie.
Mary.
Mary. Are we going to sing happy birthday to Mary?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you.
The way we are in our family, we care for each other and we help each other all we can. And we want to educate the people about caring for each other.
Only solution to this whole pollution.
I wouldn't say they're perfect. Nobody has a perfect family. Just once in my heart, my life would be complete if you went away. Life don't seem the same. Please come back again. But after all that I've done, there's only one girl on my dream. It's you.
Ambleton, when we moved to Ambleton, that was it was a big change, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'd never seen
Do you remember? Do you remember the wagon?
Yeah.
Do you remember the wagon and that took us there?
No.
I had to sit on the top and hold on to stuff. You know, like
I remember
mum's,
that now, yeah.
my mum's big lampshade. So I'm trying to hang on to all the stuff on the top of the wagon. It's only lashed down with a few bits of rope in there. So I'm hanging on, and they went over a bump. So I let go of the shade, and the next thing it flew off. Somewhere in Breck Road.
I just remember, because it was like another world, wasn't it? Just climb over the back wall, we're on the field.
I've never seen fields.
Well, I built our backyard wall, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because the only time I remember going was Gronant and Formby Hall. I thought we'd gone to like
Boston Ball barrier.
Canada. I thought we'd gone to Canada when we went to Formby Hall at the time.
Yeah.
I thought we were in Canada or America or something.
When we went to Gronant, there was only me, Timmy, Josie and James and my mother. And it rained this day, didn't it? And she said, come on, we'll go to the shop and we'll get some stuff. So we all picked something. Timmy picked a ball. I picked colour and stuff, and we all picked different stuff. I can't even remember what you picked. But when we went to the beach the next day, he buried Timmy's ball in the sand. And because we found that, we were like moles, digging holes everywhere. Couldn't find it, so Timmy nicknamed him the Boston Ball Barrier.
Yeah.
And the action man in Seymour Street, when you watched his Action Man, he'd waited ages for that Action Man, hadn't he?
Got buried in the yard.
No, he washed it and hung it up on the fire guard to dry. It looked
Oh,
like the
yeah, it
Hunchback.
melted, yeah.
It looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
We buried it. We had a funeral for it. Peter bought him another. You'd saved the coupons or something, hadn't you, at the back of the.
I can't remember.
And he bought him a new one. And
17 and 6 they were.
yeah. Well, we went and buried the other one. And after a couple of days, we said, we need another Action Man. Let's go and take him up. We took him back up again. Resurrected him.
When we moved to Ambleton, I thought we lived in Wales or something like that.
Oh, right, yeah. It was...
I really thought we'd moved to Wales.
Except I had to get the bus to school. I hated that.
School must have been bad back then.
Well, I'll give you the hint of how bad it was. When we were in Seymour Street, we'd gone from a strict school to an extraordinarily strict school. You got the cane for anything in St. Nick's. If you went to the wrong mass, you got the cane. I got six of the best for getting our Teddy into trouble, and all I was doing was telling the truth. The teacher asked me, "What mass did you go to?" I said, 11 o'clock. When we should have gone to the 9 or 10 o'clock. I can't remember which one it was. It was either 9 or 10 o'clock, and I went to the 11 o'clock. He said, "What mass did your Ted go to?" And I said, "He went the same one as me." And he called me out and called Teddy out. I think he gave Teddy 4 of the cane, and he gave me 6 for snitching. All he did was ask me what mass, and our Teddy hadn't told me to say he went to 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock mass. He never said anything, so all I did was tell the truth, and I got 6 the cane.
When we used to go to mass on a Sunday, Bobby would race at the top of Copper's Hill and say, "What colour were the vestments?"
Yeah, I used to do that myself.
And then when he'd go in, and my mother would go, "What colour were his vestments?" And he'd go, "Green." And she'd go, "Oh, okay." And when he'd stopped us at the top of the street to find out.
I used to do it in Ambleton, to the Simmy as well. Yeah.
You could always gamble on green anyway, because 99 times out of 100 it was green anyway.
Yeah.
Have I just walked through the shadow of the Valley of Death? Because I grew up in the 70s when everyone was a myth. I didn't want anything, I just played out in the street, and I wasn't really asked what I wore on my feet. I had really long hair, and sometimes I got nits. There was no Angelina Jolies then, and no one looked like Brad Pitt. Women were natural, and they also had curves, and dirty old men used to get called pervs. Mungo Jerry was number 1. We play in the woods and have hours of fun. Football was nostalgic and it was a sport, and players had a bit of pride then and couldn't so easily be bought. Dickie Davis with his Malin streak, and we go up to Yorkshire and climbed the 3 peaks. Everything seemed simple, but I hated school. As Bob Marley said, that they're just for fools. But these scary times for our younger generation, the skies are still blue, even in all the revelations. So make the most of it, because your time soon draws near. And enjoy every moment, and don't live life in fear.
Did I tell you about the Father O'Shea? When he was he was the parish priest, and he was a stickler for the shouting at the dockers. And I was an altar boy during the dockers mass, which was 6 o'clock mass. Anyway, I had to get down to the church for 5:30. So when I get down to the church, went to go in, the doors were still locked. So I went down the cellar to go through the church to get through the club and up into the vestry. And when I got down the stairs, there was a rattle of the all the empties from the club with all the hard bottles and all that.
Yeah.
And I flew back up the stairs, knocked on the priest's front door, and the old housekeeper came out, Mary. She said, "What's up?" I said, "There's someone down there." I said, they've rattled the crates. Anyway, when we got down there, it was Father O'Shea, wasn't it? Drunk as a skunk in amongst all the crates. He fell over drunk. So we helped him back up, and he was doing the mass. Anyway, he gets out and he starts berating the dockers for being drunk. And he was as drunk as a skunk.
When I was getting married, I had to go down to one of them churches for my baptism, to show the priest. And my dad come with me because I didn't know where it was. And when we knocked on the door, the priest was drunk. Oh, come in.
You're always drunk, weren't you?
Yeah.
Well, then they were either drunk or womanizers, one of the two.
Yeah.
So, and Father Lynch, do you remember them, Father Lynch?
Yeah. And everyone fancies him, didn't he?
He had groupies, Father Lynch. He was a big handsome-looking Irishman. He got thrown out of St. Bridget's because he got, I'm not sure, there was 2 or 3 women pregnant.
Immaculate conceptions.
Bit of a laddie. But,
so what was the...
A little bit better than the scandals they've got now, though, wasn't it?
So was the silent football in St. Nick's or your other school?
The what?
The silent football.
The silent football was in the same era in St. Nick's, where the...
I thought it was in Scotland, that.
No, it was Mr. Murray.
Oh, was it?
The big Irish fella. You could tell he was an Irishman by just looking at him. And he was about 6'4". And he walked around with his leaning back like that, with a cane over his hand like that, with a hook on it. And if you shouted for the ball, he caned you. And this day, someone shouted for the ball, and he caned him. And the fella who passed the ball got battered by the fella who got caned. Because he was the school bully and he should have passed without having to shout. But that's what he used to walk around with the cane. That was his referee. Instead of having a whistle, he had the cane.
Brutal, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, how can anyone play football and not shout at it?
I got the cane once in my life, and it was off Mr. Reid, Dickie Reid, for my handwriting. And when I told my mother, she said, "You have to improve your handwriting, then, won't you?"
Uncle Jimmy was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy was hilarious.
Didn't he teach Teddy before Teddy started school? He taught him with a little Jack Horner sat in the corner, didn't he?
Picking his nose like mad. He'd roll him up to chewy balls and flick them out.
So when he started school, they asked him to say a nursery rhyme, and that's what he said. He got stuck in the corner.
He got a good ticking off for that.
I was born in Seymour Street. I lived round by the Bully. John Canavan, Mick Leo, and Ella Sully. Little Sammy Lee was our Timmy's mate. The people were fantastic and the community was great. I went to St. Nick's Infants, getting used to being born, and I knew back then there's no way I would conform. And then came their reservations like indigenous of old, because people had a lot of fight and they were very bold. First there was Runcorn, Widnes, Wigan and Skem, but they took away our strength, but we didn't know it then. They broke up our communities, just like Scotland Road, Vauxhall Road, then the 4 squares. They moved people out by the load. Took away our coal fires, and replaced it with warm air. that gave us lots of illness, but corporations, they don't care. They gave pills and vaccinations to the young and old. We cure polio, you know. It's what the people were told. Macmillan once said that we never had it so good. But what he's really saying was, we had the neighbourhood. They moved us up to Crockham. I thought we lived in Wales. We had a thing called a telephone, but community never fails. This is where I met my pals, and we're still mates to this day. And the laughs that we had growing up is all I'm going to say. But these reservations were an ulterior motive, like the projects in America, to see how long people would live. There was unemployment everywhere. The houses were like blocks of ice. Poisoned their water supply. I lived on 5 chips, curry and rice. Now, does this sound familiar from Ireland to Iraq? Native American. If you're yellow, white, brown or black. Because colour doesn't matter. We're indigenous from the earth. And home is in your heart when you realise your soul worth. It's called social cleansing. And it still goes on today. Without the spiritual revolution, we've got to find another way.
I hated the church and I hated the
I wasn't in love with
everything to do with it.
I'm still not. Still not in love with it.
Well, that was another thing with the church. I was an altar boy in St Bridget's, and me and John Murphy, who lived in Mile End on the bottom landing, me and John Murphy would we used to have to go to Mount Vernon to the where the nuns were there to get the hosts, for the mass and all that. And anyway, this day the housekeeper said, "Well, you go and get the hosts. We're running low on them." So me and John Murphy goes there, knocks on the door, and the hatch come up. "What do you want?" This is the nuns. "What do you want?" "We've come for..." "Come in, stay there and don't move." Shut the door, gets all the stuff, gets back to the priest's house with all the stuff. And it was a good old walk, know what I mean, from there. Anyway, when we get back to the priest's house, the old housekeeper Mary, she said to me and John Murphy, she said, "Would you like a piece of chocolate cake and a glass of milk?" Well, what 9 or 10-year-old wouldn't refuse that? So we flew in, sat down in the kitchen, and there was this great big thing. I thought, what the bleeding hell is that? Opened it up, it was a refrigerator. And it had 2 doors on it. There was all kinds of fresh milk in it. There was a big block of cheese. There was this great big cheese, this big chocolate cake. So she takes the big chocolate cake out, cuts a slice out for me and John Murphy, puts them on a plate for us. And I thought, Jesus. And this bastard got 2 bob off me mum on Friday. And they're living the life of Riley and we're struggling to eat.
Yeah.
So I hated the church after that.
So hard to see with all this dirt in my eyes. This world is ruled by broken promises and lies. But I believed in hope, but hope is not real. I don't believe in what I see, I believe in what I feel. Yes, we're all walking down that road, looking for a light, oh, a light. Yes, we're all searching for the truth. Don't give up your fight, oh, your fight. so hard to breathe with all this hate in the air. It's us and us alone who made this life so unfair. Well, I believed in her, but hope is not real. I don't believe in what I see, I believe in what I feel. Yes, we're all walking down that road, looking for a light. Oh, a light. Yes, we're all searching for